Good morning YouTube. So what I wanted to show you this morning is my old profession. Maybe told you in the past I used to be a nurseryman. I've done that in different countries throughout Europe, mainly the first 10 years in England. So this is growing fruit trees, apples, pears, plums, cherries, the likes of peaches and so on. When I moved to Germany I was doing the same, but I also did roses, which I really got keen on. So just wanted to show you a few methods at the moment. So I'll show you first of all the budding methods, two different budding methods. In the UK more so, there was what, for the fruit trees, with what we call chip budding. Now chip budding, so I haven't got the best wood here, and I haven't got any rootstocks, but I'm going to show you later how we insert these. But I'm going to show you first of all the preparation, in other words, cutting of the chip bud, the tea bud, and two types of graft. Okay, so this isn't fruit trees or any, well it is, but not the sort of fruit trees I would normally use. So I'm going to have to make do. So you have got buds on here, individual buds. Okay, so what you would do, let me just bring you down a second, so I can make that a bit easier. So what you would do, first of all, in the UK we did what was called chip budding. Now a bud inserted to the rootstock, that's your form of propagation, and eventually that would grow into a tree. So here we go. So there's your bud. Okay, there. Okay, so what you would do, you would cut below that bud at an angle away from you like that. Okay, so you've done that. So now there's your bud. So you would cut, depending on the variety, half an inch to quarter an inch above that bud. See that? Pull it off, and that is your chip, of which I will show you later how that gets inserted. That's your chip from chip budding. Now, all those years ago, when I moved to Germany back in 1991, I hadn't done much tea budding, so it was a new learning process for me, which I really enjoyed. I had been to Ireland and done a bit of rose budding, which is also tea budding, so I wasn't a total novice, but I learned a lot while I was there. So basically you hold the twig, the branch, the shoot, whatever you want to call it, the other way around. Yeah, okay, so it's not facing you, it's facing away from you, or for the tea bud, for the chip budding rather, it faces to you for the tea budding. So again, you've got your bud there, see it? So you're now cutting at the base of it again. Okay, so what happens then, you pull it away. Now with a tea bud, you remove what's called the wood behind it. So you've got your bud, in there is the eye of the bud. So you turn the knife over and you remove that wood, which is not doing now because there's no sap in it, but in theory you remove that, so you've just got the eye of the bud in there. Let me just try one more time. It's not working because, like I said, there's no sap in this wood. So I'm just gonna, so you would pull it off like that, flip the knife over, and this wood then would flip out and you would just pull it off. It's not working with this, but you get the idea. So that would be how you start the method of tea budding. Now you're going to come to your grafting. So if the buds don't take in the summer months, this is anywhere between June and September really, depending on the country, which part of Europe, the different climates and so on, and depending on the varieties and everything. Peaches would normally get done earlier, and your apples, pears and plums, they would be sort of July onwards. Depending on the country, you can do it really to the end of September if you're in the south of France. Okay, so let me just show you this now. So first of all, I'm going to show you the whip and tongue, which is the method that I used in the UK. So here's your buds on there again. So what you would do, you would make a whip and tongue cut. So you would insert the knife so, you would pull away like that, at a better angle than that. So that's roughly what it would look like. That's the whip. The tongue is when you insert the knife in the opposite direction and you create a tongue. Hence your whip and tongue, of which I will show you how that gets inserted later. When I moved to Germany, that wasn't a common method. They were more into their Geissfuss. Yeah, more of a triangle cut really. So let me just show you that. So what would happen is you would have the bud there, as you can see. So that needs to be facing outwards. So you would get your knife at an angle again, down the one side of that bud, and you would cut, not damaging the bud itself, as you can see. So the eye of the bud is still there. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, yeah, sorry, there it is. So so now you would flip it over and you would do on the other side of it. So you're creating a triangle. So there is your Geissfuß. Can you see that? And on the back you've already still got your eye of the bud, and they would have, including that one, so you'd have 1, 2, 3, and it would be cut above the last eye of the bud. So you would just have the stick like that with the 3 buds on it, depending on the variety, sometimes 4, but there would always be one at the back of that V-shape insertion there. So that's it for now. I am now gonna finish off my coffee, swat some mosquitoes, and yeah, I'll show you in a minute. As soon as Sally's ready to help me with the filming, I will show you. Like I say, I haven't got any rootstocks or anything, but we're going to have to improvise with some plants and some trees Sally's got here. We'll just make do. So, see you in a minute. So here we are. Got Sally to do the filming for me. I'm now going to show you the methods of attaching the buds and graft. So if you can focus onto there, the first thing I'm going to show you is, if you remember, the first one I did was the tea bud. So you're done. Just can you see that? So the tea bud is, let me open the knife. The tea bud is the stick that way round. There's your bud. Okay. So it's an insertion below that bud. It's not going well because it's dry. So basically you take that off, you turn the knife over it, you take the wood out, and there's your tea bud. So it goes into the, you come here nice and close as you can though. So to do a tea bud, literally you're going to cut a T into your rootstock. So pretend this is rootstock coming out of the ground. You would, with this part, the brass part, you will turn over. This is actually going very nicely. This is plenty of sap in there. Can you see that, darling? Mm-hmm. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah? So now, that would then be, if I can do that, it's not as good as I thought it was going to go. I haven't done this in years. So basically that gets inserted now with an awkward angle as well. Oh, there we go. So we got that in. That gets pushed down in, and it gets cut off the top there. That, as you can see, is a T-shaped cut, and that is tea budding. Okay. Can you wait a minute, please? So I'm just going to show you quickly now. This is now. Can you show on this up? This is now the other version. This is called chip budding. This is more your European version. So it would go like that. Your British version rather. So as you can see, I've got it the other way round, the right way round. The wood doesn't get taken out the back when it's a chip budding. So if you can show you, darling. So this now is basically quite simple, a chip. So you're cutting in, you bring the knife back up, and you insert down so. That's not going quite to plan. But you can see the cambium on the sides here, and the cambium on this would then match up, would get slotted into there, and that's a tea bud. These of course would get tied up, like I said before, with rubber clips, ties, plastic. Some people use raffia and some people actually use wax. So what I'm going to do now, this is going to look a bit drastic, but I'm going to cut that off because Sally doesn't mind. So I'm now going to show you, this is what the grafting, so if they don't take in the summer, I'm going to show you what they do in the spring of the next year. So they make a graft. If you remember I told you this is the German version, the Geissfuß. So I'm just going to cut it at a different angle so I can get at it better. So it would be like that. Bear with me, I haven't got the correct knife, this is a budding knife, but this is roughly what they would do. They would cut, can you film right as close as you can so you can see what I'm cutting now? So they're basically going to cut out like that. Okay, that's going to get cut out. Yeah, knife's not as good as this because it's a budding knife. So basically that goes in there, and that goes in there, and that's your Geissfuß. Yeah, can you show on the top left? So that's attached in there like that, as you can see, okay? That's not the best version of it I've ever done in my life, but I'm now going to show you quick now the other version, which is the whiff and tongue. So you can show this as well, love. So the whiff and tongue is this version here. If you remember, I showed you before. You cut down like that, That's the whip. The tongue is that piece there. So there's your tongue. So what happens here? Can you see that, love? So it gets cut there. So you have to make sure this is basically cut at the same length, give or take, as what you've made originally. Now you're basically doing the exactly opposite of that. So you now, without cutting your fingers off, you're now going to insert a tongue into there. You see that? The tongue's gone into there. That goes onto there. They match in. Hey presto, there's your whip and tongue grinder. So that's the two versions. Let me have one more go at the Geisswurst. That was very successful, so I'm going to have one more go at the Geisswurst, the German version, which is basically, never mind about that now though, basically that there. So you're going to, where that bud is, you're going to cut the one side of that bud down like that, you're going to flip it over, so basically triangle effect. You're going to, I'm going to try and do this isn't the best wood. Danny, you need to get closer so you can see what I'm doing. So basically I'm cutting into that triangle effect. No, it's not working with this knife, I'm afraid. It hasn't got the right, no, it's not working with this wood. But basically that would then slot in there so that would go in as so. That's not gone brilliant, but there you go. It's not working with the knife. So that's your two methods of grafting and your two methods of budding. Obviously there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to that. So when you're budding these, like I say, these stay on there 4 to 6 weeks in the summer in the UK and Europe. It would then be taken off. When this bud then starts to grow, or before it starts to go, there's what's called stock topping. You cut it up fractionally, literally a millimetre, or as close to that eye of the bud as you can get at an angle. So not straight, at an angle. Okay, that then encourages this bud then to grow. Now everything below that's stuck into the ground, you imagine you've got your roots here, would then be throughout the season trimmed off, so you've just got your propagated tree. And that is where your fruit trees, and the same principle with the tea here is where you get your roses from. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed watching that. I hope that made some sense. If not, I will have another go in the weeks to come. I'm going to have a look at the video now, see if it's made any sense whatsoever. Anyway, like I say, like, subscribe, and I'll chat to you later. Thanks for now. Bye bye.